Remember when computers cost as much as a car? In 1983, the Apple Lisa hit the market at a jaw-dropping $9,195. That's over $29,000 in today's money. But this wasn't just any computer. It was one of the first with a graphical user interface, paving the way for the machines we use today. Let's take a trip down memory lane to explore this and other forgotten tech marvels that only true 80s nerds will remember. Remember that revolutionary device we teased earlier? It was none other than the Apple Lisa, one of the first personal computers to feature a graphical user interface. Launched in 1983, the Lisa was a game changer, but it came with a jaw-dropping price tag of $9,995. That's over $28,000 in today's money. Despite its hefty cost, the Lisa introduced several groundbreaking features we now take for granted. It had a mouse, windows, icons, and pull-down menus, all radical concepts at the time. The Lisa's interface was so intuitive that even computer novices could quickly learn to use it. This user-friendly approach would go on to influence future Apple products, including the Macintosh, which debuted just a year later at a fraction of the Lisa's price. But the Lisa wasn't the only graphical pioneer of the 1980s. On the other side of the computing spectrum was the Vectrex, a unique home video game console that pushed visual boundaries in a completely different way. Released in 1982, the Vectrex stood out from its contemporaries with its built-in vector display. Unlike the pixelated graphics of other consoles, the Vectrex produced smooth, glowing lines that created a distinctive visual style. Games like Mindstorm and Spike showcased the system's ability to render clear, sharp graphics that were unlike anything else on the market. The Vectrex even came with a plastic overlay for each game, adding color and detail to the monochrome display. Interestingly, the Vectrex managed to build a cult following despite launching just before the infamous video game crash of 1983. While many other gaming systems fell by the wayside, the Vectrex's unique visual approach helped it maintain a dedicated fan base. Comparing these two technologies reveals how differently they pushed the boundaries of visual computing. The Lisa aimed for accessibility and intuition, bringing the graphical interface to personal computing. The Vectrex, on the other hand, focused on creating a unique gaming experience with its vector graphics. I remember the first time I saw a Lisa in action at a computer store. The salesperson demonstrated how to drag and drop files, resize windows, and use the built-in calculator. It was mind-blowing. The idea that you could interact with a computer without typing complex commands felt like science fiction come to life. Similarly, playing on a Vectrex for the first time was an unforgettable experience. The crisp, glowing lines of asteroids seemed to float in space, creating an immersive effect that pixel-based games couldn't match. It felt like peering into a futuristic arcade cabinet. From graphical interfaces, we moved to another realm of 1980s innovation: digital personalities and interactive storytelling. These concepts might seem commonplace now, but in the 80s, they were nothing short of revolutionary. Enter Max Headroom, the stuttering, glitchy AI personality that became an icon of 1980s cyberpunk culture. Portrayed by actor Matt Frewer, Max was a computer-generated TV host with a distinctively choppy speaking style and a penchant for witty, often satirical commentary. His unique digital aesthetics, a pixelated, seemingly 3D head floating in a grid-like space, were achieved through prosthetic makeup and hand-drawn backgrounds, as true computer graphics weren't yet advanced enough to create his look. Max first appeared in a British TV movie in 1985, but quickly gained international fame. He hosted music video shows, starred in his own sci-fi series, and even became a spokesperson for New Coke. His popularity reflected a growing fascination with artificial intelligence and digital technology in popular culture. While Max Headroom was captivating audiences on screen, a different kind of digital storytelling was emerging in the world of computer games. Interactive fiction games, also known as text adventures, were pushing the boundaries of narrative in video games. One of the pioneers in this genre was Mystery House, created by Roberta and Ken Williams in 1980. It was the first adventure game to feature graphics, albeit simple line drawings. Players navigated through the game by typing text commands, combining the immersive storytelling of books with the interactivity of computer games. These games weren't just entertainment, they were a new form of literature. They allowed players to become active participants in the story, making choices that affected the outcome. This blend of storytelling and gameplay laid the groundwork for modern choice-based video games and interactive Netflix specials. The impact of these innovations on popular culture and entertainment can't be overstated. Max Headroom's digital persona foreshadowed the AI assistants we interact with today, like Siri or Alexa. While these modern AIs are far more sophisticated, they share Max's role as digital intermediaries between humans and technology. The idea of audience participation in storytelling has even influenced traditional media, with choose-your-own-adventure-style content appearing on streaming platforms. I remember the first time I watched Max Headroom. It was on a late-night music video show, and I was mesmerized. His glitchy appearance and rapid-fire wit seemed to embody the digital future we were all anticipating. It felt like we were getting a glimpse of what AI might be like: quirky, unpredictable, and undeniably cool. As we venture further into our journey through 1980s tech marvels, let's turn our attention to the realm of educational technology and home computing. These innovations didn't just change how we learned, they revolutionized our entire approach to education and personal computing. Remember the Speak and Spell? This handheld electronic device, introduced by Texas Instruments in 1978, was one of the first to make learning fun and interactive. With its distinctive robotic voice and simple keyboard, the Speak and Spell helped children improve their spelling and reading skills through a series of games and exercises. It was more than just a toy. It was a glimpse into the future of educational technology. The Speak and Spell used a groundbreaking speech synthesis chip capable of reproducing human speech electronically. The BBC Micro was making waves in British education. Launched in 1981 as part of the BBC's Computer Literacy Project, this computer system played a crucial role in introducing computing to the UK public. The BBC Micro found its way into countless schools and homes, becoming a cornerstone of computer education in Britain throughout the 1980s. What made the BBC Micro special was its user-friendly design and robust educational software library. It came with built-in basic programming language, encouraging users to create their own programs. Many British tech industry leaders credit their early experiences with the BBC Micro as the spark that ignited their passion for computing. The Oregon Trail. This computer game, first developed in 1971 but popularized in the 1980s, taught children about 19th century pioneer life through an innovative blend of resource management and decision-making gameplay. Players had to guide a wagon party from Independence, Missouri to Oregon, making crucial decisions about supplies, pace, and how to overcome challenges like river crossings and diseases. The game's popularity stemmed from its ability to make history interactive and engaging. It wasn't just about memorizing facts, it was about experiencing the hardships and triumphs of pioneer life firsthand. The impact of the Oregon Trail on educational gaming can't be overstated. It showed that learning could be fun and immersive, paving the way for countless educational games that followed. Many adults today can still recite the game's infamous "You have died of dysentery" message, a testament to its lasting cultural impact. These educational tools left an indelible mark on a generation of learners. I remember the excitement of using a Speak and Spell for the first time. The idea that a machine could talk to me and help me learn felt like something out of science fiction. It made practicing spelling fun, turning what was often a dreaded task into an engaging game. Similarly, my first encounters with computer programming on a school's BBC Micro opened up a world of possibilities. The satisfaction of writing a simple program and seeing it run successfully was indescribable. It demystified computers and made them feel accessible, even to a young student. Enter the world of bulletin board systems, or BBS. These early forms of online networking emerged in the late 1970s and flourished throughout the 1980s. Using a personal computer and a modem, users could dial into these electronic meeting places to exchange messages, share files, and even play games. It was a digital frontier where communities formed around shared interests and ideas flowed freely. Imagine the excitement of connecting to a BBS for the first time, the screech of the modem dialing, the anticipation as you waited to see who else was online. Each BBS had its own personality, reflecting the interests of its users and the vision of its system operator, or SysOp. Some focused on software sharing, others on discussion forums, and still others on online games. While BBSs might seem primitive by today's standards, they fostered a sense of community that many early internet users still fondly remember. They were the precursors to modern social media platforms, teaching us the potential of online interaction long before Facebook or Twitter came along. As BBSs were connecting people, another technology was revolutionizing how we interacted with computers themselves. In 1987, Apple released HyperCard, a software tool that allowed users to create their own databases, interactive multimedia projects, and even simple applications. It came free with every new Macintosh computer, putting powerful creation tools in the hands of everyday users. HyperCard's genius lay in its simplicity. It used a card-based metaphor, allowing users to create stacks of information that could be linked together in various ways. This intuitive approach meant that even those without programming experience could create complex, interactive projects. The impact of HyperCard was far-reaching. Teachers used it to create educational materials, businesses built custom databases, and creatives explored new forms of digital storytelling. It even played a role in the development of the first web browser, as the creators of Mosaic drew inspiration from HyperCard's linking system. While we're on the subject of revolutionary technologies, we can't overlook MIDI. Introduced in 1983, the musical instrument digital interface changed the face of music production. MIDI allowed electronic instruments like synthesizers and drum machines to communicate with each other and with computers, standardizing how musical information was transmitted and recorded. Before MIDI, electronic instruments from different manufacturers often couldn't talk to each other. MIDI changed all that, creating a universal language for electronic music. Suddenly, musicians could connect multiple devices, control one instrument with another, and even use computers to compose and arrange music in ways that were previously impossible. The impact of MIDI extends far beyond professional recording studios. It democratized music production, allowing home enthusiasts to create complex, multi-layered compositions with relatively inexpensive equipment. Today, nearly every piece of digital music software uses MIDI, a testament to its enduring influence.